So welcome back to our channel. If you are a follower of this channel or if you have subscribed to this channel earlier, you would have known that we have purchased the XUV 700 a year back actually. This is XUV 700 white color AX7 Petrol manual version, and this video is all about the 1 year ownership review, what was good, what was bad and what should have been done better actually. So I'm right now standing in a beautiful place in this beautiful car, and which is surrounded by Western Ghats actually. So I'll be talking to you in detail about what all the things that I liked and what all the things that needs to be improved. All those things in details I'll be explaining. And if you have any questions, put those things in the comment section and I'll make sure that I'll answer all your questions. So let's get into this video. So the first thing about this car is this exterior design. So let me show you. So come here. If you see the shape and size of the car, the dimension is perfect and apt for a proper SUV type actually. And this color, especially this white color and that too in night, it is so beautiful to look at it. And I'll show you the DRL as well. Just a minute, come back. So this DRL is one of the best in the SUV market right now in this industry. So first thing is I wanted to tell you about the design of this whole car, the looks. This car was launched in the year 2021 in the month of August, and it's been like 2.5 years and still this is a proper head turner. Shape and size of the tire adds value to the overall exterior design of this car actually. Come, let me show you. So this is 235/60 R18 alloy wheel actually, and the design of this alloy is very superb, and it is actually the design is very awesome when compared to the AX5 variant, and I just love this alloy wheel shape actually. So this overall interior design is one of the best in the industry, and this is something that everyone, when someone gets into this XUV 700, they feel the overall luxurious feel. They get the overall luxurious feel of this car, and the main reason for is this dual screen actually. So this screen is different and this screen is different, and you have a space in between, a gap, which is of no use here, and this is completely for the entertainment purpose, and this is for the MID with regards to all the data with regards to this car in terms of fuel economy, the range, the speed, all the functions that can be done by the car is something that can be done with help of all these buttons on the right side for this MID. And for the entertainment purpose, everything is done by the buttons on the left hand side of the steering wheel, and this can be done everything in this particular screen. And if you have already watched this channel, like you would have seen a video about this XUV7W. We have added multiple videos where we have explained in detail about the screens and the functionalities that XUV7W does and the user can get out of it actually. So this is the overall interior design in terms of the screen, and you have these AC vents and you have all these buttons, and these are in a proper black color, which is actually good in terms of the overall appealing capacity of this one. The overall rich feeling is something that you get in terms of the way the ergonomics feel you get out of all the placements of the button, the color that has been used, and the overall structure of the layout that has been put here. The next thing that I like about this car is the functionality of the memory seats actually, and in specific about the welcome feature. That is something that is useful for a person like me who is almost 6 feet, and that is actually a boon for a person who are taller. So let me show you how it works. So I kind of open this one and the seat goes back. So this is a proper welcoming function. This is pretty easy, where this is pretty simple as well. So if you want to enter it, the seat goes back and you can enter this seat properly, and you can be getting into the proper driving position. And the next thing is with regards to this memory seats, and you can choose up to 3 memory seats in terms of the position and the angle of the recline, in terms of the length between the pedals and the overall seating capacity. This is something that is very neat, and this is something that has been inspired from Mercedes, and it can be electrically adjustable, where you can just do it in a push of a button, and this is something very easy to operate, and this is something that is very needed in today's world. Next thing that I like about this car is the massive panoramic sunroof. Let me open this. This is huge actually. So the curtain opens on the first place, and then the glass one opens. This is pretty huge. And I know in India, like in today's world, like people are so much interested in getting car with sunroofs, and especially with massive panoramic sunroofs, where people peep out and look around the places, and while traveling, this is actually good. And even in terms of giving the proper sunlight into the car, this does a proper role actually. Let me close this now. It takes quite a bit of time, but still it does a proper role actually. And in specific, all these things can be controlled via Alexa, which is one of the main features of the car. That is something that I like the most, and I've already uploaded a video explaining the Alexa commands and the things that Alexa can do in this car. If you want to check those videos, I think I'll put this in the description, or I'll add the links and tag to this video so that you can have a look at that. So that is something that I like. That is something that I'll add one more point to this. The things that I like the most: Alexa and the Alexa connectivity features. When I say Alexa, it opens up, and one bad thing is about Alexa is something that I'll tell you at the end of the video, where I cover the bad things or the things that I do not like about this car. The next thing that I like about this car is in terms of its space actually. Like, it's massive, it's huge. It's the overall length is around 4690 I guess and this is huge, and the width is also huge. Width must be somewhere around 2800 and if you can see, like, the space between the pedals, the seat, everything is huge, large, and it can accommodate a good sized person actually in the front. And let's go to the second row as well. Second row is something that I love most in this car in terms of its overall size actually, the overall capacity of this. This is huge, and maybe I'll get inside. See if you can see this. Like with a person of 6 feet, like, I still have a lot of space. I mean, the knee room is huge. The under thigh support is actually good, and the overall space here, the leg room is actually decent enough. And this is something that is spacious in the second row, is something that I like about this car. And the next thing I'll go through is with terms of the overall the color of this car. I mean, the interior color in specific actually. And if you have seen, I haven't still removed this cover actually. It's been like 13 months since I have purchased this car, but still, with respect to this color, I like this color a lot, which gives a beautiful luxurious feeling when you get inside the car. You get proper lighting in terms of the color, but still white is difficult to maintain, and hence I kind of still haven't removed the covers that have been put during which was put during the initial time or the initial stage of the car. I haven't removed, and hopefully I don't think I'll be removing it in the near future as well. The things that I like about this car is this wiper actually. The wiper is pretty large and it almost covers the overall, the size of this glass actually. And if you can see here, I'll show you. This is the camera here. This is for the ADAS functionality, and I will explain you the overall functionalities of ADAS in the upcoming videos, or maybe I'll sit in this inside the car and I'll explain you in terms of the ADAS feature that comes with this model, in specific the AX7 Petrol manual version. And this is a auto sensing wiper, so if there is a rain, if you get rain in between, or if you have some water in this glass, it automatically operates and it cleans the overall surface. The next thing that I like about this car is this LED sequential indicator, and if you can come closer again, this is beautiful, right? This is a proper sequential indicator where this is properly visible even during the daytime, and this is something that I like. With regards to the real sequential indicator, I'll explain you something, I'll show you something, but which I do not like actually. One of the things that I do not like about this car is in terms of this boot actually. This is huge, like it's a bit difficult to raise this boot. Like it's not electrically adjustable, and if you can come closer, I've folded this third row seats. Maybe I'll lift this up. And if you can see here, this is the overall space that you get in after you put this third row seats up, and predominantly you can just keep 2 or 3 small bags here, and that is something like the space is not good when the seats are put up. But you get a massive boot when you put down the seats actually, like it's almost flat, where you can put down all these 2 seats and the middle row 2 seats as well. You can put down where if you want to travel with huge luggages, like you can add those things, and that is something that's fine. But when you travel with 6 people or 7 people, it might be very difficult to get your luggages, and you cannot have a rooftop carrier because this comes with a massive panoramic sunroof, so you will not be able to fit the rooftop carrier actually. Next thing I do not like about this car is, come closer, I'll show you. With respect to the overall bonnet, this is huge actually, and you do not get hydraulics for this bonnet, and this is heavy actually. Like you will have to spend a lot of your calories in lifting up this bonnet. Let me show you, and it is a bit difficult to keep this on one place. So this is the overall bonnet setup, and in terms of, come closer, I'll show you. The overall arrangement of this engine and the other parts are decently spaced, where it would be pretty easy for the operators and the mechanics to get into this and operate. And this is a huge petrol engine, 4-cylinder petrol engine, which has around 2000 cc, and this is pretty much arranged neatly actually in terms of the overall layout of this engine bay. But this is huge, and you have proper insulation here where it almost cuts most of the engine noise actually. Let me put this down now. This is hot actually. Yep, it's heavy. Next thing that I do not like is this rear sequential indicator. Come closer, and if you can see, this has 2 parts actually. This is the first part and this is the second part, but the second part is alone operational. Like, just come back, if you can show the other side actually. So from the back, if you can see, like only the small portion of the rear sequential indicator is operational, and I always think like the person who comes back might not notice this small unit, and there is a high chance that the person behind you might hit you. This is something that I have been discussing with the few salespersons across Mahindra, but I'm trying it to fit in my car, and this was something that was removed in the AX7 and the models below that actually, and it is currently available only for AX7 luxury variant actually. And this is something that was available only during the first 1 year, right? I think from August 2021 to June 2022. After that, it was removed for all the variants except AX7L. So only the AX7L variant will have the full rear sequential indicator, which runs from this point till this point actually. The next thing that I do not like in this car is with regards to this IRVM actually, and this is pretty manual, and this is of the old school type, and a car with an ex-showroom price of 20 lakhs should not have a very manual kind of IRVM, and we expect at least a car with this range to have automated IRVM actually. That is something that is badly missing. Next thing is with this old school type handbrake and with electronic parking brake in picture today, like this is again very traditional type of for a car with this value. And next is this the seat. It does not have the ventilated seat, and the only 2024 model, and the two for AX7 and AX7L gets the ventilated seats for the front passengers, and this is badly missing in this car of this price actually. Now let me show you the ADAS functionalities that are available for this car. Let me go through that. One sec. You go to the settings here and you have this driver assistance actually. If you can click here, it takes you to auto emergency braking, where the braking happens when you are about to collide to the vehicle in front of you. And this is lane keep assist, high beam assist, traffic sign recognition, and in specific this lane keep assist there are again 3 more functionalities. You can switch it off, you can just set it up to warning only, where if you change the lane without proper indicators, like you get the warning. And if you have this on, the warning plus assist, it's a kind of a thing where you do not need to turn your steering and the whole car takes up the role, where it automatically turns when you are about to switch the lane. That is the main functionality of these ADAS. The details about this Adrenox and the screens, overall screens and the functionalities, Alexa, all these things have been added to the previous videos, and I have attached the links of these videos in the description, where you can check those things to understand what it does. And here you see this is airbag, and this car comes with 6 airbags. The X7 model comes with 6 airbags, and the X7L, the luxurious variant, comes with 7 airbags actually, where this car misses out the knee airbag. And now I'm gonna explain you about the best thing about this car. Before that, I'll start this car actually. Put the seat belt, and please ensure that you drive with the seat belts on. That is something that is for the safety of everyone who is traveling in this car. So I'm gonna start this car. If you can hear a mild noise, that is something that is very minute actually for the size of this engine. And this is a proper petrol engine, and the insulation has been done very well. And if you can see, I have kept this mirror open. If I close this, you will not even feel the engine sound. That is something that is so good actually. Drive this car. I'll take a U-turn first and I'll show you what it does. So this is smooth actually. This petrol engine is very smooth, and this is very efficient actually. I'll just take a small U-turn here, and the steering feels so light. Like for the size of this car, this is pretty easy actually. It feels like you are just driving a small sedan or a small hatchback inside the city, and this is very good for even for a person of a small size. This must be actually easy. So see here, I can just do the steering a small push here actually. That is something that I love about this car. And right now I'm here in the second gear actually, and you may not feel the noise at all. The engine vibration is properly controlled, the engine sound is properly controlled. The driving is so superior, and you will just love the driving of this car actually. The steering is light, the engine noise is very less, the clutch travel is smooth, the accelerator is smooth, the braking is super efficient, and that is something that you will enjoy driving this car. And I have driven this car for almost like 500 kilometers, 550 kilometers at a stretch actually, and this does a beautiful roll actually in even terms of speed, and it can go up to, I think, up to 200, 205, 210 kilometers per hour maximum. And I have tried till 150 or 160 kilometers actually per hour. That is the maximum speed that I have tried and achieved so far. I haven't gone beyond that actually. That is something that even with a small slight push in the accelerator, this reaches 150, 160 very easily actually. But do not try that one. Like keep it in the minimum speeds and keep it in the average speeds, and that should be enough for a travel. Only while if you want to test something or test the capacity of this car, you can try a bit, that too in a proper safe environment. That is what we will always suggest actually. And the next thing is there is a speed breaker coming up. If you can see there, I'll just slowly put the speed breaker. and it's smooth actually. The suspension is tuned in a very smooth way, and you might not feel the heaviness of it, and it does a pretty neat job. The suspension that is something that is pretty different in XUV 700 that I found, which is not usually found in the other cars actually. And in some cases suspension is a hit or miss, where you might feel proper tremors inside the car, and on some days it is very smooth actually. That is something like you might enjoy on one day and you might not enjoy on the other day actually. And one thing that I do not like about this car is mileage, which is a very controversial topic for XUV 700 actually. Right from the beginning, people are very curious to know about the mileage, and that too I have a petrol engine, and you know very well about the petrol engine and its comparison with the diesel engine in terms of the mileage actually. So what do you think? Like before I tell about the mileage of the car in real world, if you know the real mileage of this XUV 700, do tell us in the comments. And there have been a lot of discussions, and people have been asking me in the social media and in my previous videos as well regarding the mileage that I get, and because it's a petrol variant and people are very curious to know the exact mileage, and I'll give you a proper detailed answer in terms of the mileage that I get in this real world actually. So if you are traveling in proper traffic and in bumper to bumper traffic in cities, you will get mileage only in single digit for a petrol variant. And I have friends who have diesel engine of this XUV 700, and they get around 11 to 12 in cities, and they get around 15-16 in the highways. With regards to the highway mileage, I get around 12 to 13, and it depends on the driving style as well. So if you have a small touch in the accelerator and you maintain your RPM, you maintain your usage of clutch, brake and accelerator per kilometer, you determine the mileage that you want to get in your car, and that is something that it is in your hands, and in specific it is in your legs actually to determine your mileage. And that too, with the size of the car, with the size of the engine and the capacity of the engine, the huge size, the weight of the car, mileage is something that should not be actually discussed. This is not a small car, this is not a small sedan or a hatchback where you can easily get some good mileage. This is a pretty huge car, pretty good car, I mean in terms of the overall efficiency, and with that the mileage is actually very less, and you should not be discussing about the mileage. But still, if you have any doubts with regards to the mileage, you can always post that questions in the comment section, and I'll try my best to give you the proper answers actually. Over the last 1 year actually, like I've traveled in this car in proper highways, I mean real proper highways I've traveled in bad roads, real bad roads. I've gone to hill stations, I've gone to places near beaches, seashores actually, and almost I've taken this car to most of the places. I've done a bit of off-roading and not the full off-roading. I've done a bit of off-roading in Munnar. I've gone to places near Rameshwaram, Kanyakumari. Those are seaside places actually with the sands nearby, and this is something like this car has done well in all the terrains actually that I have traveled. I've traveled in big cities, small cities, towns, villages, and everywhere this car has done a beautiful role in terms of carrying me and my family to all those places. And big kudos to the wheels and the tires actually, and it has stayed well, I mean for the last 1 year. And whenever it had to travel across difficult terrains, potholes, patched roads, and it did a very massive, huge role in terms of carrying us actually, and that is something that I loved about this car, and I still love about this car. And final conclusion in terms of the overall experience of this car with me, and in terms of the way the 2024 XUV 700 is positioned is, like there are a few things that have been added. One is with respect to ventilated seats, you get the captain seats, you get dual tone colors in 2024 model, you get this memory function in the ORVM actually, you get ventilated seats, and these are some things that are added in 2024 car. And in terms of aesthetics, the Napoli black color is added, which is something that I didn't prefer actually. I still prefer the midnight black, which is kind of a dark blue. I still prefer that actually. And if you want the full proper dark edition black color, you can get the Napoli black, which is completely black in terms of the grills, in terms of the alloys, and almost a few things in the interiors as well. Those are painted in black. That is something that you can still get. But with respect to the overall things, when I compare 2023 XUV 700 and 2024 one, 2024 comes with good features, and that too, if you have to, I mean, the company has to stand with the competition that is presently available with MG, with Tata Safari, with Innova Hi-Cross. These additions had to be made, and that was something that was made after 2 years of the launch, and I would still prefer 2024 model than the 2023 model. So if you are lucky enough to get the 2024 model, I would suggest you to go for it, and that too with AX7 or AX7L. And in specific, AX5 2024 model comes with cruise control and reverse camera, which was missing in the previous model actually. So in terms of the overall features and in terms of the value for money, 2024 XUV700 gets the full mark actually. The next thing that I do not like about this is the second row's AC actually, and it does not do a proper role here actually. You do not get a blower functionality, you do not get a rotary knob here. All you can just is adjust the movements of the air, and this is kept pretty low actually. When you are 5'5" or 6 feet, you do not get proper air circulation from the second row. This should have all the features or functionalities of at least a blower control is something that has to be put here, which is completely missing here. And the next thing is like, it does not come with proper sun blinds or sun shades actually. This is something that I have put after I bought something in Amazon actually, and it does a proper role in terms of these are magnetic ones, and it does its role properly. It does not allow sunlight to enter in, and it gives a bit of privacy actually. But car of this size and the car of this price, it should have got the sun blinds which are available in the cars, I mean the competitor cars, and that is something that is really missing. And the next thing is like these seats are comfortable. Yes, this can accommodate 3 people, but the problem is the recline angle is pretty less here actually, and the biggest problem is these do not move forward or backward. So it stays in just one position where you will have to adjust and accommodate, where if a person who wants to sit in the third row, and if he or she is a huge person, it might be difficult for them to sit, and with people around 6 feet and above that, it is pretty difficult for them to sit in the third seat and third row seats. And third row seats are pretty much for the kids and person who is very lean and who is a bit on the shorter side, and otherwise third rows are particularly for luggages or for the kids. So we have come to the end of this video. So in case if you are waiting and if you are ready to buy XUV700, and if you have any doubts, do tell us in the comments, and we'll ensure that we reply to all your comments to clarify all your doubts. And if you already have XUV700, do tell us your feedback. See you in the next video. Bye bye.